What's going on, guys? Today is update day. Yes, indeed, update beta version 2.0, and let me tell you, it is a huge improvement over the first beta build. There are so many bug fixes. There's a lot of new eye candy. We're going to go through all that, but first, let's go through what's been added in the menus here. Player versus player is not available quite yet. That's for like local play. Coach mode is unlockable. So if you want to coach your team, you can do that. And of course, you can watch the AI versus AI. But we're going to go to the meat of the game here. And the first thing I want to talk about is if you have a mod installed, you're not going to have it installed, as you can see, once you have new updates come in. And I'm going to use the Houston Bombers because I think they're a really cool team. Now, before we get started here, I just want to be clear about something. I am using one of Sackmasters' uniforms in the NFL mod for the Cincinnati Royals. The game will not ship like this. This is a customizable football game, which means user-created content will not be shipping with the game. This is something you build yourself. I just want to be very clear about that. Now, that being said, I am using them in this game because I thought they looked cool. Now, right off the bat here, you guys wanted to know from my last video what my zoom was, so I'm going to show you guys here. Now, in the future, I'd like to see Danny tie some kind of numerical value to this so we can tell, easily what our zoom and height and all that is. And of course, I want to see bigger options for the camera in the future. Now, these up here, these formations, they've been in here since the 2015 version. They just need to go away. They've just been there for way too long now. Like I said, these uniforms here, they look really cool, but they're not going to ship with the game, guys. Now, right off the bat, you're going to notice a lot of visual changes. The meter under the player is new. There's a lot of bug fixes. All the player names are in white text now. That was one of my requests. And they're visible now. Now here on the field, there's also a graphical display here which shows the down and distance. This is really cool. You see that on TV broadcasts, and it's really cool. But as you can see, the meter will now deplete. The more you use your running backs and wide receivers and all that, your players are going to get tired. And as you can see here, the passing is much improved. It's still got a long way to go, guys. The physics are still off a bit. They're still working on it. But it's serviceable now. The passing is serviceable. I had like 69% completion in my last game, so I could only dream to get that in the first build. So this build is much improved here. The running game is still very fun, but it's a little OP at the moment. We still need to fix the O-line blocking and the defensive interactions and all that. And now, let's talk about I want in the future here. I'm going to show you an example here. I want my tight end to be flipped. I want him on the left side here because I see a possibility, where I could flip the play. I want to see him go that side. So I have to call a hot route with my slot receiver, but in the future I would like to be able to flip plays at the line of scrimmage, but I couldn't do that on this play, and he drops it. But yeah, that's something I really want to see added in the future. Be the option to flip plays at the line of scrimmage. You can flip them, when you're calling the play, but you can't do it at the line, and that's something, I'd love to see that in the future, guys. I mean, it really adds more flexibility when you're calling plays. I do it in Madden 08 a lot, when I see, gaps in the defense and stuff. Now here, this is really cool. This was one of my requests as well. And you can change the angle of the kick, and yet you're still going to have the challenge that was also my idea last year. The farther the kick is, the harder it's going to be to make the kick. So this is going to make kicking, a lot more challenging. It sucks when you play a football game and the kicking is so easy and it's not much of a challenge at all. I want this game to be challenging. I want it to be rewarding, and these are the first steps. Having that kind of thing, in the kicking game is really cool. Because the pressure will be on when you're when you're trying to kick a game-winning field goal and you're pretty far out. It's not going to be, a few clicks and you'll be done. This is actually going to take strategy to think about, do I need to change my trajectory to make sure I get enough distance? Is my kicker not strong enough? that is something that I really wanted added last year. It was added last year, but now we have an added dimension to it now with the angle. And I thank Danny Jugan so much for listening to me. I'm just a nobody, but he has listened to me since day one. And it's just amazing to see my ideas. And even my commentary is in the game now. I wrote a lot of commentary for this game. And I can't thank Danny Jugan enough for allowing me to be part of his football game. It has been really a big deal to me, and it's really been a lifelong dream to help build a football game. And I'm not actually part of the team, but I'm giving him ideas and suggestions, and he's adding them into the game. I mean, often, and it's very, very humbling to see that happen. Now, one more thing I'm going to talk about, and I'll close this video out. I got a lot more stuff to do today, but I want to see a marker on the field that shows where the ball is going to land. Right there, as you can see, I couldn't tell where the ball was going, and the ball needs to kind of have a camera. The camera needs to follow the player a little bit better, like zoom in more and stuff. I don't know how to actually explain it, but right now the game just seems too far away. Like, you can't really tell what's happening the further you go down the field. Like, when you throw the ball, the camera should kind of zoom in more to the player, but I know that's going to probably be, a work in progress and everything. But one more flaw that I really want to talk about to Danny is the velocity of the football is way too fast. The game needs to slow down a little bit. Slow down. Once we get huddles and everything added, and for some reason I get a developer console come up. But once we get, the animations in and everything, it's going to look cleaner. The animations that I purchased are still not in the game yet. But the velocity of the football is just way too fast. The pace of the game is too fast. But once we get huddles and things like that added, the pace of the game, we'll have longer, times between plays. There's going to be eventually a play clock added. I'm not sure when that's going to be added, but eventually in the future. But just the overall pace of the game, and for certain the velocity of the football is just, it shoots out like a heat-seeking missile on every play. And that's probably why the receiver gets to the spots too quickly. So once that gets kind of tweaked a little bit, it's going to be more smooth and more enjoyable, guys. But I really love the changes he's had to the game today. I love the change to the passing circle. This game is improving, guys. This is only version 2.0. There's lots of things coming. I hope you guys enjoy, and if you guys want to see more videos, just let me know in the comments of what you want to see, and I'll do my best. Alright, guys, that's it. I'll see you guys next time.